Hello everyone, how's it going? Dr. Incompetent here, and let's do a complete beginner's guide to Stranded Deep, shall we? Now, Stranded Deep is a fantastic survival, crafting, builder experience, and it's one of the kind of like forefathers of this genre of game. It's in fact an older game. This is 2025 when I'm doing the guide, but I'm coming to it late. I didn't start playing this game until this year, and it has been such a treat. I've been loving this game. I've been playing it on stream, on Steam Deck, in my own time, on a separate save file, just to learn everything about it because I find the play loop to be so fun. However, there are a lot of things about the game that are, not necessarily clear, and there are some things that can lead you into trouble if you don't take care of them early and know how to craft and prioritize, and that's really what we're going to focus on in this guide. We're going to start up a brand new game of Stranded Deep so you can play along with me and learn the basics of the game. This would be good if you've never played before and you want to learn how to play, or maybe you just want to see if this is the kind of game you're interested in. Or maybe you bounced off this game years ago and need a quick refresher. What I'm going to do is explain my own thought process for why I'm doing what I'm doing and kind of give some suggestions on what you need to do to stabilize yourself in the beginning of the game. I'm going to talk about the controls, the UI, some basic tips and tricks, but what I'm not going to do is spoil anything or talk about, the fastest build order or the quickest way you could beat the game or anything like that, because I don't want to interfere with you enjoying Stranded Deep at your own pace and playing it the way that you want to play it. I just want to equip you with enough of the fundamentals so that you can enjoy this game without stressing too much about the survival elements, at least early on, and wrap your head around exactly what strategy you want to use to go ahead and make a go of not dying. So let's start right here with a new player, and I have created a new save file, so we have a different world than my Let's Play. By the way, I'm going to link my Let's Play in the description below if you want to see me playing the game for the first time. And we're not going to change any of these settings. We're going to use the existing world. We're going to be single player, normal difficulty, normal wildlife. You can obviously change permadeath if you want, but this is not advised for a new player. I think that being able to, save the game and go back and learn from your mistakes if you get devoured by a shark or something like that is very useful. So let's just start. Yeah, we're just chilling on a beautiful, private airplane, very small, luxurious, just doing a little bit of work here on our laptop. And then this is happening. If you're not familiar with airline travel, this is bad. And you can't do much except just let it happen. Ouch. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is swim out of this disaster. And go ahead, swim out the opening, and they want you to find the raft, and it's right over here. So just look around till you see this raft, get over to it, and then that's all she wrote. Because more explosions, more unconsciousness, we are trying to, survive a harrowing plane crash, and this is the first day of that survival. If you feel like this game is similar, oh god, there's a shark right away, you see in the water right there. If you feel like this game is at all similar to Castaway, it's because, as I understand it, the developers were influenced or inspired by that game. So first thing you want to do is just look around in the water and see there's an island over there, and there's a big island right by us. Let's get to that. Use your mouse to look at this paddle and press E to pick it up when you're aiming at it. It's hard because the paddle is rocking around. Once you're holding this paddle, look at the side and you see how it says hold E to operate. Do exactly that, and then just kind of use WASD to move around and point yourself with the mouse. Using WASD to steer, I'm holding W to move forward as we paddle our way toward this island to get out of the water. We don't want to be messed with from a shark or anything like that. And once you're done moving, just hold E to stand up. Put your paddle back, hold E to put it back, and then we're going to just walk and jump out with the space bar of this raft. Grab it with right click. And when you can grab stuff with right click and drag it around, and I'm just going to drag this raft up onto the beach so it doesn't sail away. That could be one of the easiest ways to lose a raft that you build, or this raft, is to just leave it in the water and not drag it ashore. It'll just sail away and you'll be in bad shape. So now we are on this island right here, and there is a tutorial built into the game that's giving you some survival tips. It says in the upper left, pick up resources you can find around the island and press tab to open your inventory. Okay, so it should be worth mentioning there is an inventory on your life raft. It's this ration and supplies. You press tab and you hold tab to keep this inventory open. This game works with wheels for storage. So there is a wheel right here that you navigate by spinning your mouse around like a clock face. And at 12 o'clock we have rations. At 1 we have a compass, and at 2 we have a bandage. Now I'm not going to take anything out. I'm just going to let go of tab and leave that there. There is also an anchor that you can deploy in your raft if you're in deep water so it won't sail away. And there's our paddle, but we don't need anything right now. If I open my own inventory by holding tab, you'll see that I just have my bare hands, and I have all of these slots in my backpack, but that's it. There is a crab right there. Don't walk on him. He will pinch you. And we're going to move around the island and look at those beautiful seagulls. Try to find some items to pick up. Right here is a rock. When you see something you can interact with, it will outline in white, and you can press E to pick it up. Now, you can turn that on and off in accessibility, I believe, but I like to play with item highlight on to make things easier to see. Now, you notice how I'm holding this rock. Well, I don't want to hold that. I'm just going to hold tab again and then select my hands and just kind of put that rock away. There's a piece of cloth on the beach. Now, your game world will be different than mine. These are randomly generated, but the starter island has some similarities. I'm going to just put that away. Your wrecks will be different, things like that, but your starter island should have plenty of crabs to eat, and no dangerous animals, no big crabs or boars or anything like that. I'm going to pick up this rock, I'm going to pick up this cloth, and they want us to now craft. So I can press C to open the crafting menu now that I have 2 stones. And if you press C once, it opens up this crafting menu that lets you kind of look through the different recipes. You start the game knowing pretty much all the recipes that you can build. So some items we can't make because we don't have the ingredients, and some items we can't make because not only do we not have the ingredients, we don't have the level. Even if you have the ingredients, you cannot make some of these more advanced items until you raise your crafting level. And we do that, well, by crafting. So I'm going to make this stone tool, and it's been stored in our backpack. And now they want us to make a refined knife. So I'm going to push C again. And the refined knife recipe is right here. By the way, you can cycle through these tabs for different items that you can craft, like structures, furniture, animal traps, and tool belt extensions. I'm going to go ahead and right-click on this refined knife recipe, and you can see in the upper left it pins it. So we need a stone tool, which we have. We need a stick, which we don't have. And we need rope, which we also don't have. Lashings, they're called lashings. I always call it rope. They're made with 4 fibrous leaves. So you can mouse over any of these ingredients on the crafting column that appears to the right of the screen when you have the crafting column open to see what these are. And I'm just going to push C again to close this up. I'm going to hold tab, select my hands, and just walk around and pick up another rock. Good, good. These are the fibrous leaves right here. So we want these to make lashing. Palm sapling, if we break it, it'll give us fibrous leaves. So I'm going to hold tab and actually select my stone tool. And this stone tool I can use to break this into fibrous leaves. And I push E to pick that up. Now, I'm using mouse and keyboard to control. If you're playing on PlayStation, this is out on PlayStation 4, Xbox, or whatever, your controls are going to be different. I'm going to be using mouse and keyboard and describing that for this tutorial because I'm playing on PC. I will tell you, I have played it on PlayStation 4. I personally prefer the controls with mouse and keyboard, but it's workable on controller, and I've played the game on Steam Deck as well. And it's workable there, although you'll need to kind of customize some of the buttons. I didn't find a control scheme that was great. All right, let's get this palm sapling to pick up another fibrous leaves. And then here's a stick. I'm going to pick this up. I'll pick up another rock. I'm going to hold tab and show you. A lot of the items that we're picking up will stack. And you will learn how much they will stack, like rocks and stack to 4, for example. But fibrous leaves can stack much more than that, and sticks, I believe, are up to 4. It's getting, some clouds are passing overhead. Time is passing. There are night and day cycles in this game, so time is a factor. I'm not worried too much about it right now because this is the beginning. I'm going to go to my hands, and I'm going to actually just select my stone tool. I'm going to pick up this stick, pick up this stick, and I'm just going to keep going around getting fibrous leaves. Now, if you want more fiber than just what the fibrous leaves gives you, which is 1, you can come inland into these forests and you can look for yucca plants. So some of these plants, like the ficus tree, if you chop this down, it'll give us sticks. The palm tree will give us logs, palm leaves, and coconuts. But palm leaves don't make for fibrous leaves. They're used for something else. What we're looking for in here is this plant right here that has these kind of spiky leaves, this yucca tree, or yucca tree. If you chop this down, and it's slow going with this tool, it's not very good, it drops a bunch of leaves. So we're going to pick up all of these leaves. Be careful to look around to get these fibrous leaves. There we go. They usually drop around 5. I think it might be able to vary. Sometimes they'll kind of clip through the environment, and you'll need to be really careful for how you find these. There they go, right there. If they get stuck in a bush or something like that. And I can push C to craft my lashing, or you can actually hold C to open the quick crafting menu. And what the quick craft does is it just will show you what's available to craft with what you currently have in your inventory. It's telling me I need to cool down, so let's stand in the shade while we do this. And I'm going to craft the lashing, and now we can craft the refined knife. So I'm going to push C and go ahead and just left click on this, and we've made a refined knife. Now I'm going to select the refined knife for it's better for everything that we have right now for interacting. But you saw how it said I need to cool down. That's because one of my vitals was getting irritated, and I'll show you what that is. I'm going to hold F, as it says in the upper left, to see my survival watch. This tells you your health, which is the heart, your satiety or hunger, which is the kind of like drumstick, the water, which is your hydration, and then SPF is like your sun exposure or your heat level. So you can get better with this by standing in the shade and just kind of relaxing here, or what we can do is look for this plant right here, this aloe vera plant. So I'm just going to walk over to this guy and pick it up, and then I'm going to come back over here and I'll show you. I'm just going to hold tab. This aloe vera, it says when you mouse on it in the inventory wheel, aloe can be applied to the skin to reduce the effects of sun exposure. So I'm going to use it. I'm going to select it and then just left click it, and we apply it, and then you can see this completely restores your SPF sun exposure heat to full, just one of those. So those are super useful. And if you hold F, you can left click to cycle through your different modes of your survival watch. So this is going to show us our stats, skills, and condition. So this second window is our skill. Remember how I said we have to level up crafting to 1 to be able to even use level 1 recipes. So these little bars indicate hunting, cooking, crafting, strength, and gathering. So all of these skills are, we raise them by doing them, and then this shows you any status effects like poison, if you get sick or dehydration or something like that, it'll be shown there. And then these are your stats for just overall how well you're doing. So you can see that we're getting thirsty and hungry, and they want us to kill a crab with our knife. So I'm going to just hold tab and select my knife, and they tell you that you can push control to kind of sneak up on the crab. So I'm going to tell you right away that the combat in this game is the worst part of the game. This is a fantastic game. I have a great amount of fun playing it and building and surviving, but the combat is not very good because, at least for me, the targeting is very strange. It feels off. I'm going to select my knife. You can't really see your knife very well, like the field of view is strange, and the targeting itself is strange, so just don't worry. It's not a you problem, it's a game problem. So I'm just going to go up and just slash this guy, and we killed him immediately, and there we go. We got it. So the reticule, the aiming reticule, can actually help you, but if you're familiar with a lot of FPS games, like where you're slashing is awkward, so just try to use that targeting reticule. Once you have them dead, so there's 3 dead crabs here, hold E to skin. Now, your mileage may vary. You might find the aiming and the combat to be fine. It might just be a me problem. And I'm going to skin all of these crabs. There we go. And you see it's getting dark. I'm going to stand up by pushing control again, and they want us to craft a campfire. So I'm going to get a bunch of sticks to do that. And how many do I have? I have 2. So let's just go ahead and go to one of these smaller trees right here and just smash this thing. And our harvesting has gone up. And if I hold F, you'll see that harvesting is the 3rd one. I said that was the crafting. I apologize. The crafting is the bottom one, and I also said it was gathering. The word is harvesting. I have my own vocabulary for the game. I will try to use their terms. I apologize. So it's hunting, cooking, harvesting, strength or endurance, and crafting. This one might even, the fist might even be stamina. I am not recalling the word for it at the moment, but it's something that you raise by swimming and doing strenuous activities. All right, let me get these sticks. So now we have enough sticks, and I'm going to go, I'm actually just going to hold shift to run, and you see in the bottom center of the screen there's like a stamina bar that appears, and we're going to run and use this up to go back to our raft. I like to just put my stuff by the raft so I'm kind of located by it. And I'm going to hold C to quick craft a fire, put it down right there. And then to light the fire, you need kindling, so I'm just going to hold C and make kindling. These are available because I have the sticks. I'm going to switch. You see kindling is at 6 o'clock on my inventory radial, and then with it equipped, I'm just going to hold E, and then we go into the kind of fire minigame. All you need to do is click left and right click and alternate between them. You can do it as fast as you want or as slow as you want, but you want to do it fast enough because if you wait, you see how the bar depletes. So I like to do it really fast, just toggling, and then there, it's lit. Now, honestly, I don't want to carry this kindling around, so you can push Q to just drop what you're holding, and when you have an item dropped in this game, it will never despawn unless there's some kind of bug. So it will always be there next to the fire if we want to use it. And then I'm going to select this meat, this crab meat, and then hold E, and we put it on the fire. Now, I'm actually going to drop the rest of this meat onto the ground, and you can only cook one thing at a time, so I'm going to wait for this to turn on so that I can... I'm going to wait for this to cook, rather, so that I can cook the rest of these. Do not eat the meat until it's been cooked or you'll get sick. And we need a drink, so we need to get some coconuts. Now, you see how it's dark? It's nighttime. Just find a palm tree, and you'll see there's a coconut right there. You can either get to it if it's low enough, or you might have to hold spacebar to just climb up the palm tree. Once you attach to it, just push W to climb up, S to climb down. And then now I've got this coconut. I'm going to push Q to drop it, and I'm going to hold tab to select my knife. I'm going to hit this thing twice to knock off the outer shell, and then we pick it back up. Hold tab, select it, left click, and we drink it. And then we can actually drop it again and use the knife, bam, 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 to make coconut halves, which are food. I'm going to select it, and then I'm going to eat one. And this will, if I hold F and go to my... You can see it's helping with my hunger. Do not eat the second half. You have to wait, I believe, 8 to 10 seconds before you eat this again. If you eat too many coconut halves in rapid succession, you will get diarrhea from eating too much, so don't. Nobody wants diarrhea, so don't do that. This is plant you can use for crafting a concoction that will let you hold your breath longer underwater. We don't need that right now. And you can, if you want, craft a torch for going around in the wilderness, but I'm just going to pick up this stick and just start doing a little bit of harvesting in the light. So they want us to cut down a palm tree with an axe and make a shelter. A shelter is fantastic for sleeping so that you can pass the night away and work in daylight hours, but also so you can save the game. So let's do that. I'm going to hold tab and see what I've got in my inventory. I've got some stones and I've got some sticks. So I'm going to hold Q, C, to craft a stone tool. And look at that, our craftsmanship already went up, and I'm going to make another stone tool, and then I'm going to make a lashing, and then now I can make an axe. Now, I was able to do that just because I know the recipe, but if you push C, you will see that the crude axe is right here. It's 1 lashing, 1 stick, and 2 small tools. You can pin that if you want to find it, and it does require level 1 crafting, but you'll notice that that has disappeared because we did get our crafting to level 1, and now level 2 is still here in red because we need level 2 crafting to make, for example, a crude fishing spear. And then once we get that requirement, it will disappear. So I'm just going to left-click on crude hammer, and I made crude hammer. But why did I make a crude hammer? I don't need that. I need an axe. So now we have to go get some more fibrous leaves. If you run out of fibrous leaves, you need to walk around and look for palm saplings. Remember, with the highlight, you can see them by looking at them. And you can also look for more yucca trees. Those palm saplings will respawn in every 2 days, I believe, as will the yucca plants. I'm going to pick up this stick, and now I could just hold C, and I could craft the lashing, and I can now make myself an axe. I have an axe, and I'm going to select it. Now, the hammer we'll use later. I just wanted to show you what happens if you run out of palm saplings. And speaking of, you could get these with the axe that we just crafted. Speaking of palm saplings, whenever you see it, use it. Get them. You're going to need so many lashings that you won't even believe it. So get as much fibrous leaves as you can. So now I'm just going to start chopping down this palm tree. I'm looking at it and just holding left click. And eventually it's going to fall down. Now this axe is not very good. Our harvesting is now up another level. And we need to make a shelter. So how do I make a shelter? Let's push C. Let's go to this tab and let's go all the way to the top for shelter. I'm going to right click the recipe to pin it and push C again to close it. I need a lashing, 4 palm leaves, and 2 sticks. So if you take a log and you hit it enough, it will turn into sticks. Now first, it will separate from the tree and you can pick it up. Logs can be used to make planks later, so you might want to pick these up whole, but if you don't need a log, you could just keep hitting it to turn the log into sticks. And then I'm going to get some sticks. And then the top of this, the palm, we need to hit this until it breaks into separate palm leaves. And then now I can pick up 1, 2, 3, and there should be a fourth one somewhere. It might have fallen onto this bush. Let me see. How many do I have in my inventory? 3. I need more. By the way, I'm going to hit this coconut and pick it up. Go here. I'm going to drink it. And I'm going to push Q to drop it. So you can see our hydration is filling up a little bit. I'm going to jump on top of this bush. And here we go. Here's my palm frond. It stole it from me. There should be another one around here somewhere. But this is fine. I only need 4. So I'm going to go back to my raft. Running, jumping. And next to my fire, I'm going to build my shelter. Now, you don't have to. You can build it wherever you want to, but I just like to have it. So we need to hold C, and we need to craft a lashing. And oh, I don't have enough. Okay, so let me I need more fibrous leaves for the lashing. No problem. That's right. All right, so let's go in internal here and see if we can find a yucca or yucca plant. Here it is, right here. So I'm going to select my knife, or your axe is actually better. Use your axe and just blast this thing, and then make sure you pick up all the fibrous leaves that you can find. It might be a little awkward. It's dark. You can make a torch if you want, but you can just look around until you mouse over it, and then they will highlight. And now I can make a lashing, and you see I have all the ingredients that I need. There's more fibrous leaves back there, by the way. We'll go get them. They don't despawn, but I just want to craft the shelter. So I'm just going to hold C for quick craft, select the shelter, and when it's red, obviously the ground is not level or something is blocking it. You just have to wait until it turns white, and then you can left-click to place it. And then, once you've built the shelter, hold E immediately and save your game. Now, if you die, if you run out of stuff, you can just load it here, and you have enough time to sustain yourself. So, always, always, always save the game. And as often as you can, so that dying is not too much of a setback and you can just load your game. Now, you could sleep right now, but that will progress our vitals. Like, we'll get thirstier and hungrier if we do that. So I don't need to sleep at the moment. And look, our meat is cooked. I'm going to pick this up, and I'm going to select it, and I'm going to eat it. And then I'm going to pick up with E another one and just throw it on top of the fire. Now, you see the fire when I'm looking at it. It has a radial wheel around it. This is the fuel gauge. Our cooking has gone up a level, and it's depleting. You can add more sticks to the fire if you want. Like, I could select a stick, and I can hold E to refill it, and you see how much fuel one stick adds. I'm not going to add any more. I'm just going to add that much. That's fine. And now what we need to do is craft a water still. This is the most important thing after food, shelter, is getting water online. You do not have fresh water to start except coconuts, and there's really not enough coconuts to survive for a long period of time, so you need to get a water method built, which is the water still. So I'm going to push C, and I'm going to select water still. I'm going to right-click on it. I need a flask, so I need a coconut flask, I need palm frond, I need cloth, which we have, 3 stones, and a lashing to get this. I also need level 2 crafting, so we've got a little bit of work to do. So let's first focus on the coconut flask, and that's actually pretty easy. The trick with the coconut flask is that what you want is to find a coconut that is not, that's yellow like this, or green, that has not been used. So this is what you need. So if you push C to go into consumables, actually, so you can change the tabs up here as well. We just haven't had to do that yet. You can see that the coconut flask, you need an undamaged, like fresh coconut, or just a coconut with this casing. It doesn't really have to be fresh. It could have been sitting on the ground forever. but you need a lashing as well. So we need a lashing for this and a lashing for this. So you can see how the fiber is adding up a ton. There's other items here that you can just look through as you wish, for crafting, for building. Anything in this panel for building a house, a foundation, you're going to need a hammer for that. Same thing for our vehicle if we want to make a raft, for example. Now, we'll get into that later. We're just going to focus on water so that we don't die. Let's not put the old cart before the horse. So, we're going to kind of go around and see if we can... I'm going to select my axe. If we can find any more fibrous leaves to use for making some lashings. Now, remember that we had some, fall away because the bush blocked our yucca. Here we go. Here's another one. Thank goodness. They usually put plenty of these on the starter island for you. So you might have to poke around. Just look for that signature spiky, kind of like short trunk base. And then there's plenty of fibrous leaves. Here we go. All around. There they are. Okay, tremendous. I'm going to hold C. I'm going to make a lashing. So now I can craft. I have a lashing and I have the coconut. I could craft a flask. Now you notice when I go to quick craft, it doesn't show up. Quick craft sometimes only will show what tab you're on. So I need to actually move to the consumables tab and then we make that. And now we need, we can actually make a lashing right now. We have enough. And all we need is a palm leaf and some rocks. So we are really, really close to getting ourselves some water. So I'm going to run and pick up this rock. Excellent. I'll take a stick. Sure. This rock right here, if we have a pickaxe, we can actually hit this to get some rock, break it apart. We don't have that now, so let's not worry about it. There's enough loose stone on the island for us. I'm just going to go ahead. Here's one, by the way. And that's not one, but there should be some more. I'm going to get this palm tree. And I'm going to hit this. All right, harvesting up a bunch of palm fronds. Now, I got more than what I needed for the recipe, and I'm going to... What's my inventory looking like? Okay, it's getting really full. I'm going to drink this and drop it. How am I doing? Okay. Here's my other rock. I got more palm than we need because... let me see. Where is my fire and raft? Here it is. I'll show you in one moment. Right next to our little starting area here, I'm just going to build the water gatherer. So the water still, I can hold C, and you see the shelter shows up, so it's not showing me for quick craft. So I'm just going to go back over here, and I'm going to click water still, and you can put it anywhere you like. Right there is fine. Now, it already starts with some water in it from the coconut flask you used, and I'm just going to hold E to drink it. That took a quarter of that out. As you can see, the wheel filled up 1/4, and every quarter of the wheel from this will restore 1 full pip of hydration on your watch here. So 4 of these is 4 full bars, so it's good, but we really want 2 of these to feel better. And you see how there's a palm leaf down here. You actually need to select your palm leaves or your fronds, and you can hold these to add fiber. This needs fiber to work. So if you ever wonder why it's not collecting water, you got to fill it with fiber. I'm just going to drop this one next to it with Q so that I can use it when this runs out. And this is going to start collecting water for us. Now, the next quest they want is for us to craft a hammer, which we already did, and make a foundation. So if I push C and then I go to the building tab by clicking on this up here or using your bumpers, maybe it's your triggers to shift between those on controller, we want to make a wood foundation, which takes 4 sticks. So we need to go get some sticks. Oh, by the way, can I craft an upgrade yet? I need a lashing to make a tool belt. A tool belt will be huge when we can get that, but let's just do this sticks. Making a tool belt will allow you to hotkey your tools, so you can push like 1, 2, 3, and 4, etc. to switch to them. It doesn't give you extra space in your inventory, but what it does for you is allow you to just not have to open up that wheel and select like your axe. You can just push 1 to get your axe. It's great. All right, so we need some sticks. I'm just going to chop this log until it turns into sticks for us. Fantastic. Jumping over here. And then I'm going to just push C, and we'll go to building, and we'll just make a foundation. Now, this is for building a base or a house or something like that, and I'm going to put it right here. And then once you build it, you have to click your hammer. Just hold left click, and you'll hammer it. Okay, so it's physical. I told you I'm terrible with terminology. I apologize. I'm sure many of you corrected me in the comments below, and I appreciate all of your clarifications on my mistakes. I called it strength. I called it endurance. I think I even called it stamina. Stamina is just your bar for running around and such, and fighting. It's called physical fitness. So that's the right term. There we go. And this is done. So now we have a foundation which we can use to build stuff, but we're not actually going to build a house on this island. It might seem like at first that's what I was going to do. I was like, okay, we'll just build a house here. This game is not about building a house on your starter island, although you can do that if you want to. It's about actually going out and exploring the other islands. Like we see an island over here and trying to find more supplies. There's something over there as well. There's just not enough for us to survive. I'm going to pick up this rock on this island. And if we want to win the game, we can't just stay on this island. We need to go out and explore. However, there's a ton still to do on this island. You can see this water collector is already filled up, and I need to drink it. 1, 2. There we go. This food is probably done. It is. I'm going to eat it. And I'm going to pick up this crab meat. I'm going to hold it over here and just keep cooking. Do I have any sticks? I'm going to... Oh, God. Okay. So I was not holding the stick like I thought I was. And I turned off the fire. So we got to pick up the kindling. And then... Now, when you extinguish the fire like that, you actually don't lose the fuel. So you just have to go through this, mini game again. I do that sometimes where I think I'm holding something and, oh, that leveled up my physical. Well, that's good. I just try to hold E and I turn off the fire instead of adding fuel. So here we go. There we go. All right, now our fire is rolling. And you can see the sun is coming up, which is fantastic, so that we can more easily get supplies on the island. But really what we get to do, which is awesome, is go out and explore the water. So first, when I started playing this game, I didn't even think about this as a possibility, but it's something that we want to do, and we want to do it right now. Now, if we could find another yucca, then that's great for getting some fibrous leaves, but instead, every single one of these wrecks, you see there's like some wreckage sticking up here. There's a wrecked ship. There's a couple of wrecked ships right here and here. We want to explore these to get supplies. Now, before you do anything when you leave an island, hold E, save your game. Because even if you think the water isn't deep, you could get hit by a shark, You could also step on an urchin. You could get bit by a crab. There's all sorts of things that can happen to you that are bad. Now, luckily, honestly, sharks don't even... It's not like an instant kill. Unless it's, some kind of enormous one, I suppose. But usually they just bite you and it does a little bit of damage. You might start bleeding. But it's not the absolute end of the world. Now, you notice how when I'm swimming, there's fish that we can hunt. I have a breath gauge that's rapidly depleting. What you're going to want to do is find the way to enter this wreckage. This one we can just kind of jump onto the deck. This is the gold, a wood container. Don't open it, just push E to put it in your inventory. Hold tab, switch items, look around, see if there's anything else. Let's get some air. Alright, so we found a container. And let's see if there's anything down below on this ship. It doesn't look like it. That might be everything, and that's fine. That's a good haul. Nope, there is. Okay, let's go down here. And, another container. Pick it up. Go to your hands. You don't want to open the container because it's filled with items. And here we go. Pick another one up. It'll take too much of your inventory space. Instead, just keep it in there and find the way back out so that you can breathe. This is like Subnautica 101. Just don't go down without remembering how to get back up. Keep that in your mind. And keep an eye on your breath gauge. But this is it. We've picked this clean. And we've been very, very successful. This is 3 wooden crates. Wooden crates are the treasure chests that we're looking for in the beginning of the game. Now, you can hold shift to kind of try to swim faster if you want. And in this shallow water, you won't really encounter sharks, but you might encounter some purple urchin that could poison you if you step on it, or some crabs and stuff. All right, so now we have all these crates. Now, one tip that was given to me is these crates are randomly generated what's inside. So if you save the game before you open them, you could kind of like save scum to try to get supplies that you want if you're interested. I never do that, but you can do that. Now, what you want to do is just hold tab, pick up one, and push Q to just drop 1, 2, and we actually got 3 crates. Now, put them on the ground, and then just walk over to them and hold tab. Look at this. It's a fishing spear. It's a vehicle electric part, and it's a cloth. So there's some items in there. We want the cloth for making another water still. This one has a refined hammer. Definitely pick that up. It's got some a label maker, which you can use to label these crates for storing stuff and organizing your gear. An air tank, which you could use later for deeper dives, or you can make a harpoon gun, which is not very good, unfortunately. At least for me, it's not good. And then scrap, which we can use for all kinds of building. And then, this one has a ration, an empty jerry can, and some leather. So this is very good. I'll pick up the leather. And actually, I'm going to put the leather back. I'm not going to use it at this moment. But let me tell you something about the ration. The ration is super good because it gives you water and food. So if you start finding yourself struggling, I'm going to put this in there in the raft storage so you see it stacks up here. Try to stack whenever you can to save your inventory space. If you see that you're just struggling on food and water, which we are not, this is cooked. I'm going to eat it. Then you can eat a ration. And it's really good for traveling with. I'm going to hold it. We're almost full, but you can see this is out. So I need to pick this up and put this back on here. And I need to go get some more palm right away to fill up our... fill this up. Now, I did get this refined hammer. Once you get this hammer, this baby is very, very durable. So you don't need to carry 2 hammers. So I'm just going to hold tab here, and I'm going to put my old hammer away and just keep the nicer hammer. I'm going to select my axe, and we're going to chop down this tree right here. So I'm going to pick up every single one of these. Looks like there might be some... I'm going to get this out. I think that might be some fiber underneath us. pick it up, and darn, it's not. I really thought that this was. Okay, no worries. And I'm just going to drop this log. I don't need to carry it around. Now, one thing you can do, I'm going to put this on here, is create stacks for your inventory. I'm going to put this here, here, and here. Now, I have 2 palm fronds. So if you have more than one of something, of certain item types, you can hold this up, and then you can hold C to quick craft, and you see you can make a palm frond pile. It has this kind of like blue icon underneath it. Select that, and then just place it, and then now you could just store all of your palm fronds here. You could do it with sticks, you could do it with rocks, you could do it with a lot of basic ingredients to make your life easier for organizing. These wooden containers that we've gotten are like the lifeblood of your early game storage. And you can organize these however you want, but you want to get as many of these as you can for storing stuff. They're super useful. Awesome. So we have another wreck to explore over here. And let's do that. I'm just going to swim down, keeping an eye on everything. And you see how this wreck is a little bit deeper? So just make sure you look out and are wary of any sharkies. And let's look around on this wreck. This wreck might be bankrupt. We'll see. Nope, there's a container way back here. Alright, pick it up. Store it. And there's a container here. Hold tab. There's a vehicle fuel part. Fine. You can't pick up that container. You can just search it. And I think that's going to be it. So I'm going to go up. Yeah, that's it. And let's go back. Swim fast. Try not to get bit. And what we're going to be doing is just kind of staying on this island to work on building another water collector, making sure that we search all the wrecks around us, and then making our next game plan to see what supplies we actually have. So let's go ahead and drop this wood container here and look inside. Oh, there's duct tape, very useful, another ration, and then there's a spyglass you can use. You could take this out if you want and use these babies. You hold right click to use it, and you can then hold left click to like zoom in, see what's on this island or what's over here on this island, for example. Just kind of plan your next path of where you might want to go. Now, I'm actually going to go in this inventory. I'm going to put away this vehicle part and the spyglass. I don't need to carry it around. I like to keep my inventory pretty lean. Now, the fire is done, so I'm going to extinguish it and save the fuel. And the water still is going great. I don't need a drink at the moment. Our sun exposure is becoming problematic. Our food is going down, but we did get a fishing spear that we can use to help us catch some more food. And we're rocking and rolling. You see there's 1, 2, 3 wrecks for us to search over here. There's plenty of coconuts. We're waiting on these yuccas to kind of respawn for us. And we need to get some more fiber and lashings as we explore just all over the island as things spawn and respawn. Everyone, I want to say thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this first episode of our guide series to be useful. Yes, I said guide series because there's a ton to explain in this game, and I want to create a nice full series for you so that you can see a bunch of the gameplay unfold, get a really good feel for how to build a raft, how to explore, and grasp the game so you can enjoy it. If you have any questions about the game, please post those in the comments below. I'd love to help you out with understanding Stranded Deep. And if you are a Stranded Deep veteran and you want to clarify any mistakes that I've made or share any additional tips you have for beginners in the comments below, that would be awesome. Just make sure you do so in a way that's non-spoilery for our new players, and not too in the weeds so that they don't get overwhelmed. Also, here is a potato. Let's pick this up, and we're not going to eat it. We can save this for later for planting in a garden if we wish. So I'm going to put this away like so. Okay, everybody. Thanks so much for watching. I'll check you in the next one. Take care.